you. Bye-bye.
Shifting focus to Sudan, where the wartime capital Port Sudan is under continuous attack by the paramilitary RSF. Thursday marked the 5th consecutive day of RSF strikes on Port Sudan. The latest attacks targeted Sudan's largest naval base, as well as a fuel depot, causing massive fire, as per reports. Now, there have been no reports of casualties. Earlier targets included the port's container terminal and Port Sudan International Airport. In a televised address delivered amid a backdrop of rising smoke, Sudan's army chief, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, vowed retribution.
The Sudanese people are not frightened by such incidents nor scared by such calamities. The Sudanese people are educated, fighters, and have made history and built civilizations, and will not be frightened by such acts. We say to all who have attacked the Sudanese people, the hour of retribution will come.
Port Sudan on the Red Sea coast has served as the de facto capital of Sudan's army-backed government, until the army recently recaptured Khartoum from the RSF forces, who had taken control shortly after war broke out in April of 2023. Since then, Port Sudan has functioned as a safe haven, hosting hundreds of thousands of displaced people and United Nations offices. Until Sunday, when the drone strikes began, it is also the primary entry point for humanitarian aid into the country. Now, the conflict has effectively split Sudan, with the RSF holding strongholds in the west and south, while the army controls much of the north, east and center. The RSF has declared a parallel government in the territories it controls, and after losing Khartoum, it has intensified its offensive. The army describes the latest attacks as a full-fledged crime of aggression, carried out with strategic drones and advanced weaponry. Sudan has accused the United Arab Emirates of supplying the RSF with these weapons and has cut diplomatic ties, calling it an aggressor state.
Following this continued aggression, the Security and Defense Council decided, first, declaring the United Arab Emirates a hostile state. Second, severing diplomatic relations with it. Third, and finally, withdrawing the Sudanese embassy and general consulate. In accordance with Article 51 of the UN Charter, which gives states the right to self-defense, Sudan reserves the right to respond to aggression through all means to preserve the country's sovereignty and unity of its lands, and to ensure the protection of civilians and continued access to humanitarian aid.
The UAE has denied arming the RSF, rejecting the cutting of ties. It claimed the decision came from an administration that does not represent the legitimate government of Sudan. This comes days after the International Court of Justice, earlier this week, dismissed a case filed by Sudan, accusing the UAE of complicity in genocide through support for the RSF. The situation remains precarious, the war escalating week by week. Meanwhile, civilian lives continue to be deeply affected, caught in the crossfire of a relentless conflict.
India struck Pakistan. These were precision airstrikes targeting 9 sites in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Operation Sindoor is India's military response to the Pahalgam terror attack. The operation was focused, measured, and non-escalatory.
Terror knows no boundaries. You start justifying terrorism, contextualizing terrorism, you refrain from taking action against terrorism, you will be hit by terrorism.